flood past and trying to lasso, you know, fridges and calves and whatever. So there was this extreme kind of management of everything being destabilized, and everything just kind of continued to shift.
That's the bottom line. Cut a longer story short, the end result was, you know, dance combined with photography, where Rachel and I would essentially be shooting each other in these various environments. Yeah. So these are some of those images. You can see the two dogs of the mud house, which was the home of Mr. and Mrs. McTaggart, and that nation of erratic weather. Where does it blow its course? This paper aims to provoke questions addressing conscious movement as topography. Conscious movement as topography. How can we use physical language as a coercive tactic that presupposes a land-based linguistic instead of fluid and migrational codes? What are the tactile modalities of watery places that can underpin that language and retain and embody a fixed yet fluid rather than static sense of place? How can we retain mapping processes to engage those social behaviours, movement patterns and spatial relationships, those experiences and those stories that are embedded in places that have been erased through water?
So this paper seeks to explore the relationship as based on gravity, measured through the foot and its negotiation of both wet and recently dried land. The terrain interrogations that myself and Marnie have practiced together since 2006 are formed by an assumption that the languages of choreography and cartography are instant as well as pre-designated, both enabling a marking of passages or routes, a tracking of implied motion through time and space, and both signal a memorization of the whereabouts of a body or bodies passing through a place. As site-based artists with a foundational understanding of the body's capacity to foster a deep awareness of place through the senses, Orr&Sweeney viewed body movement as a direct exchange with place. Our initial investigation of new spaces is activated through a kind of animated palmistry whose gestures and motions describe cartographic scores designed through anatomical and architectural exchange, which correlate certain regions of the body, the pelvis, the stomach, chest, neck, the head, where each might equate to a projected angle, particular resonance, or a spinal articulation. Tim Ingold writes how first, the environment that we experience and know and move around in is not sliced up along sensory pathways by which we enter into it. The world that we perceive is the same world, whichever path we take, and in perceiving of it, each of us acts as an undivided centre of movement. So then our movement practice, designed through topology and topography, finds a kind of qualitative and tactile measurement of breath and vision that connects the haptic with the sonic, folded back into proprioception, contracting and releasing along each horizontal and vertical plane. Foot and pathway, furrow and trough, river and valley all conspire towards the compass. Up until the late 19th century, walkers did not travel. This remained purely in the domain of the rich. Walking was by necessity, and in fact only developed as a leisure practice since the early 20th century, as an openly responsive and democratic exploration of space, in allowing us to elevate and deviate from the straight and narrow, to follow the whim of peripheral gaze, which included the scape as well as the scope.
Resides in the visual remains of place through the photographic documents and films and other visual materials, as well as the memories of the audience for the live experience of performance and presentation that form the residue and